So this is a national solidarity Act On Climate event. So it's happening all over the nation, and the main rally is being held in Quebec City today. So we are doing this in solidarity and support of the Quebec rally. And the reason why the main rally is being held in Quebec is because we're going to have 13 premiers meeting in Quebec on April 15th. And so we want to send a message to those premiers telling them to act on climate, that we are at a pivotal point right now where we need to make changes. Well, essentially that there are a lot of impacts to environment, ecosystems, to the people living in northern communities. The impacts are to water, land, and air. And that our government is pro-industry, pro-oil industry. It's reinvesting in non-renewable fossil fuels. What we're asking our government is to focus on renewable green energy. We are doing this to demand climate protection as well as renewable energy solutions, but also recognizing that the Indigenous communities in Fort McKay, Fort Chip, are deeply impacted by the oil industry, specifically the tar sands. And we want to be able to bring awareness and to bring remedies to that by, again, focusing on green energy and getting the government to divest from the oil industry. It's understandable. We understand that the oil industry is putting food on the tables of most people in those northern communities. We understand that. We understand that certain First Nations communities are benefiting from the oil industry. What we're asking is that there be a transition plan, and that whether it's retraining people in those communities toward the green energy sector, wonderful, great, that's one plan. Looking at, again, divestment strategies which don't focus on the oil industry. So what we've seen in other countries is that there has been revenue brought in by royalties, but what those countries have done is they've reinvested into other sources of revenue away from industry. So that's what we're asking at this juncture. Essentially, another message that we're trying to get through to the general public is that 85% of the bitumen in the tar sands needs to stay in the ground in order to stop climate change. I think the more that we stand in solidarity and send a consistent message to our government, I think that's the only way that we're going to ensure that we put a stop to climate change.